What's up, guys? We made it to interview 93, and I got the songwriter, the multi-talented person. He dances, he does about everything. I mean, bro, come on, bro. We've been waiting for this interview. I got Max Besta. How you been, bro? You been good?
Been doing good, yeah, man.
You been living the dream?
I mean, not yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah, and this dude is very, like, I don't come off on the interviews like this. One, appreciate Dank, Where's Dank? That was like a really dope interview, definitely a life-changing interview, so make sure you guys check that out, but thank you for that, Dank. But dude, this dude is very young. I normally don't do this. He's 17 years old, and I think this is something that, like, I look as like a stamping thing for 𝙄𝙤𝙩𝙚𝙬𝙚. You know, like, my goal in life is to teach younger kids how to be themselves, and I feel like this may be a stepping out your comfort zone for you, you know?
Yeah, right.
Because you're ready for the next step in life. Like, you're ready to pursue your full career. And since I met him, there's been no hiccups. Not saying there's hiccups in my interviews and stuff, but it's like, since I met him, like, he's really been about his stuff. Like, and he dances, he does, he's a guitarist, and he goes live on Instagram and stuff, and I'll tap in with him. And so, bro, like, for real, interview 93. I know we dapped up already, bro, but we've been waiting for this one for about, what, 3 months now? Like, 4 months? So shout out to Robbie, too.
Yep,
I met him through Robbie, my fossil dude. And but no, man, let's get into it. Where are you from?
So I'm from here, Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
Born and raised, man. Just growing up, living life, making music. And
what part of Charleston? Like, what would you, like, what city and stuff?
Oh, I'm in the Park Circle area.
Okay.
Charleston,
like, that's where you were born?
Charleston. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What school, like, elementary school and stuff did you go to?
So I've always been going to Montessori, like private Montessori schools, and it's all that kind of community is just like no desks and stuff. It's it's like opposite of public school. So
is that what you feel like you've maybe gotten, like, you know, an impact from that, like a
definitely, like,
event,
socially it's impacted me. Like, it's created different social skills for me that I still, like, you know, look back on to this day and appreciate, you know, just like. And I still have those friends with me. I felt like it was a very friendly environment. And then I moved to a public school, which is where I'm at now. So.
Is that where, like, where'd you go to middle school and stuff at?
I went to middle school at this place called East Cooper Montessori, and it's just kind of your everyday middle school. It's nothing special. Right. But I, like, everybody there was really into the arts, so they encouraged you to, like, learn an instrument, and that's where I kind of wanted to expand, like, the instruments I learned. They made me learn trumpet, made me take theater, and then I just, like, was like, oh my god, like, I felt like that was one of the steps that made me realize, oh, I could be a performer, I could be a musician.
Next level.
You know, because I was already doing it, but it was just like introducing more things to me that made me realize that more.
Open-minded.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna ask, so, like, in elementary school, did you, like, kind of have any, like, you know, exposure to music around that time, or was it, like, anything that, like, kind of led you to, you know, make you think that this is it?
Yeah, man. I mean,
because you're young, and I know in elementary school you don't really, like, know what's going on, but there's still, like, some people be like, I've been playing the guitar since I've been 4.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm asking. Like, did you feel like
I've been doing it my whole life. I mean, like, by the time I had consciousness is when I was already drumming. 2 years later, I picked up piano, and I've kept that along since and kind of made this one-man band for myself. But in elementary school, I guess I was just practicing more and more and more up until, like, middle school. I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep doing this in high school, and then, I don't know, it's advanced over time. I just kind of, like, played them for fun, you know, because I'm just a kid just living
How
life.
did you, like, manage to be able to do it? Because, you know, in your age and your generation, it's kind of harder to continue doing what you really like. Because, I mean, I know you don't do this for giggles. Like, I see you have a passion for it. It's not, like, I know you're still young and you're going to change and, you know, develop. But I feel like music is something that you're going to be stuck with. So, like, how did you maintain to do that for, like, since middle school and high school? Like, because it's being an oddball.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think so? Like, do you feel like
I definitely... I feel like an oddball in the best way possible. I feel like as an artist doing what I do, you know, I know that there's a lot of other people that have the same dreams, they play the same things and make just as many songs, but I feel like an oddball in the sense that I'm original and I'm looking to have as much individuality as possible, and that's kind of just expressed in the songs and stuff I post about dancing and everything. But, like, middle school was just me kind of mastering those instruments and just trying to learn them, because I was like, I'm gonna keep it up. My dad's been playing drums and he got me into it, and he's been doing it all his life, so why not I do it. You know, I thought that was that one thing that I was always really going to be good at. And then by the time I was in late middle school, I was like getting into gaming, and it distracted me from it. But eventually, like once I put myself in art school, which is where I'm at now, it's just like I was surrounding myself with people that kind of made me realize, okay, all this, like, I'm not going to do all this playing instruments for fun. Like, I just kind of want to do this seriously. So I made time for it. That's how I made, like, that's how time kind of came up. I made time for it because I wanted it. And I don't know, I've always been like a driven person. Whenever I want something, I'm going to like learn it. I'm going to get on it as fast as I can.
I can tell, man. I can tell. Like, what's one advice you would give any like high schooler that's watching this, if they wanted to pursue their career or even just dream? It could be anything.
I'd say never think that your dreams or your goals are unrealistic, because anything is possible, and don't waste any time getting to it. Especially, don't care about what other people think, because that's just going to slow you down and prevent you from doing everything I just said before, you know. So
that was good advice, bro.
Yeah,
I feel like some people, especially your age, are like, they're confused. They don't know what to do, you know. And it's like, are you a trendsetter, or you like to follow trends? I know it's an odd question, but
I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with it, like, and don't feel like, I'm not trying to point, like, you know, like make you or anybody feel like down about that, because we all are one or the other. So like, what do you feel like you are?
I think it's a good 60-40 right now, with like 60% of me doing like the trend setting, and then the 40% like following along, because I still want my original authentic self to override what I'm taking from other people, but I'm not necessarily copy and pasting. I'm trying to just take bits and pieces and craft it into my own thing. So I'm just taking inspiration, not really just like following the trends. Sometimes I feel like I have to do that to kind of get myself out there. If I'm like, oh, this one way of promoting this song has been blowing up for everybody that's been doing it, I'm gonna do it the exact same and see what it does. And then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's just, it kind of depends on what you're making, and kind of just, you have to create this like aura for yourself, you know, as for like the music, your self-image, what you wear, you know, how you talk about your passions and everything. So that's just been one thing that I'm trying to figure out. And you know, me being this young,
you're still young. You're still young.
It's an advantage.
Your music sounds like you're not that young. Because like, what do you classify yourself as? Like, what genre of music do you consider playing?
I would say it's like indie rock. Yeah.
And you like, I've heard his music, and it sounds like it would be in like a Spider-Verse movie. Like, for real, like it sounds like something that like Miles Morales would like get up and out of bed, and I just feel like that vibe in your music. So like, when did you kind of first make your first like song, or like what age were you? So when I wrote my first song, and I've written, I can't even count how many, I was probably about 7 or 8 years old, just goofing off on my piano. Okay. And it was like, did you like just write it down, or were you just playing it and memorizing it? Or?
Well, ever since I was really little and I picked up an instrument, I've always been like that one person with a really good ear for music. And every like music teacher that I've ever had was like, honestly, like, you could probably make do without sheet music or writing stuff down, because your ear is so good and you can just like almost translate it and memorize it. So I don't know, I picked up that piano, and it was so out of tune, but like I just found a few notes that I was just really in love with, and I don't know, it just resonated with me, and I was like, and because it was just such a catchy thing, I was like, I'm gonna write catchy songs on the piano every day. And I just like created this like folder in my mind, just like I just had like a few songs I would go back to and play every now and then.
What were some songs in particular that you kind of remember?
I don't really have names for them, but I will say that I've like this piano was at my old house, and we just recently sold it. But when I went back to kind of scavenge through a bunch of my old stuff, that piano was still there, and I remember playing on it and playing the exact same melody because I remembered it, and I was like, you know what? Why not use this just to kind of make a nostalgic song? So I didn't really have names for them then, because I was just a little kid, but
it's like melodies.
I've taken them and kind of made them into something that's kind of just still in the works.
So what high school did you say you went to again, just for people? Because I want to make sure I classified it.
Yeah, I go to School of the Arts. I'm still there as a senior right now as a dance major. So.
Are you like going through like, and you don't have to answer none of this, but I just want to dig in for people to, people want to get to know you. Do you feel like high school's been treating you what you thought it would be? This is something I'm never asked either, because I don't normally talk to high schoolers, but it's like...
In what context?
Like, so like in 8th grade, walking into 9th grade, is it what high school thought it was going to be for you? Did that make sense?
Yes, yeah. Okay, so it was what I thought it was going to be, and I thought it was going to be a whole different field.
What was the outcome, if you like can describe it?
Like...
Because I don't know what it's like to be in high school right now.
Oh yeah.
So like, what is it like? Like, what does it feel like?
Well,
pressure or
freshman year was a blur because it was not very good, because it was just such a different school experience than the Montessori, because it was a public arts school, and I was like, okay, I really got to commit to my arts now. So it was a lot of pressure for sure, but I don't know. As I gradually went on in sophomore year, I released my first ever song. Then I felt like music was that. And dancing there was like, those are my two ways of expressing myself and creating my self-image, and now all these people around me doing their own little art thing kind of know who I am, and that's my little picture.
You feel like you get the support
character
that you like should deserve at school?
For sure. Honestly, sometimes I'm a little bit surprised by how much support I get. I just feel like I love the community I'm with, and just everyone's just so friendly, and everyone's so supportive of each other's ideas and majors and everything. It feels like college, the way that our school is set up, and I really appreciate that, because it just makes me feel more prepared for that too.
So let's talk about college though. Like, where do you see yourself in college? Are you going?
So I actually didn't want to go because I was scared about I don't really like school in the first place. I like the academic part of it. I do like the arts, so that's where I can kind of find enjoyment in it right now, but I wanted to just kind of cut to the chase and get straight to my arts, and I feel like I just kind of figured it out already, and I was like not ready to go back into school and go through the academics and stuff and have people just tell me what to do all the time. So I was like, you know what, screw college, I'm just gonna. But then I was like, I gotta think realistically, like there might be some opportunities in that, and there might be some things I could pick up on. So I'm trying to go. I don't know if I'm ready to go out of state yet, but I'm trying to stay local and
just dip yourself into it. Yeah, you're still young, bro. You got so much room. Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself. College is about done now, and I hopefully learned more about arts management and entrepreneurship, and just kind of. I hope that I have a really good band by then, and I'm just performing as much as I possibly can. I have the most committed and down-to-earth, just passionate musicians in my group, and honestly, I hope that I can learn to appreciate and appreciate what I make, and find people that can appreciate it, find the right crowd, and know my worth as a person. Because sometimes I discredit how much I do, but at that point in 5 years I'm still pretty young. So
that's what I was saying.
At that point I hope that I've achieved some goals, and I'm kind of making some moves and hopefully making some money.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Were saying, I think dang, it was in my head. See, that's what happens, I'm jet lagged. Crap, bro, it was a good question. But no, I think a lot of times when kids try to, like, especially your age, try to find the passion that they want, they find someone else to look up to. So do you think you have anybody you look up to that's like made you who you are now?
Yeah, so one thing about me is like I love diving into just really underground and unnoticed bands and stuff. And I think it also might be because I relate to them just in my spot right now, and it makes sense because I'm young, that I don't necessarily have a ginormous audience yet. I've only been doing it for so much time, but I always look up to just people that are happy with their small audience and kind of just learn to, I don't know, I see those people as people that appreciate the art rather than the fan base.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I look at the mainstream people and I'm like, you got talent and you got a lot of things going for you, but I see less, I don't know, I just see them as like industry plants, and I see them as like feeding off of everybody's energy and just, you know, like only caring about the fans.
It's a monopoly game.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I only like to look into just people that have the most passion, and I feel like those people are just like, I don't care how many fans I have, I don't care how many people listen, I don't care how many people show up to my shows, and I'm not gonna charge you $1 million freaking dollars for a ticket. You know, so it's like those are always those people that I looked up to, and I could go on. I have so many people.
No, definitely, me too.
That's just in general.
So,
you
yeah,
know, like,
yeah. What is one advice that you would give anybody who's trying to be themselves?
Oh, that's a hard one right now because I feel like I'm still trying to find that.
Yeah, you're young. That's why I just want to like get people your age to kind of like compare to you. You know what I mean? Because we're all going through some. I'm still like, I found out who I am, like I really did, but there's still that like hint of like, what am I really doing? You know what I mean? But
well, there is never really, people think there is, but there's never really an end goal. You're always going to be changing. So,
right.
You know, there's always going to be that one thing missing, and that's kind of your motivation to achieve more things and just go on. But I don't know, advice for being yourself is kind of what I said earlier, like don't really care about what other people say, and don't let them morph you into what they want to see from you or what they want you to be. Just kind of I don't know, whatever makes you most happy and most comfortable, that's what you need to be doing, and it doesn't matter what other people want you to be doing. So
perfect. That was a really good answer, bro. Because dude, it's cool to interview somebody young, because I've never heard anybody talk like kind of how you do. Not trying to judge anybody that was young that's been on here, but it's like you're spitting some gems, bro, that like I feel like a lot of kids could really listen to and take in and hear it, you know. And if you're watching it this far, I really thank you. I can't appreciate you enough. But also you need to check in with this man, because he does music. He's a dancer. So like, let's talk about it a little bit. You said you got new music coming up. When are you planning on dropping it?
Well, I just dropped a song on Sunday. It's Tuesday now. So,
okay. What was the name?
The song is called People Pleaser, and I feel like it is just like the beginning of something new for like music. I haven't released a song in 6 months because I was taking like a hiatus to find myself in the music. I feel like a lot of my personality depends on the art I create a little bit, or it's revealed a lot in there. So that song is definitely more honest. It's more like relatable. Right. It's revealing. It kind of says a lot about my personality or where I used to be, where I am now, kind of thing. So I really hope to kind of, and it's got a whole new sound to it too, to kind of encapsulate the emotion of everything.
How'd you like, because you're doing school, you said you're in college, right?
No, I'm a senior right now, but I'm going. Yeah.
But I was gonna ask, like, I thought earlier you said you're about to graduate college. I must have heard that wrong. It's jet lag, bro.
Yeah, bro, no.
But no, do you think that like school is maybe like something that's been like holding you back from dropping more music?
Oh, definitely.
Because I feel like you said earlier you've had a lot of songs, so it's like I feel like you could be making more now since you're more older and stuff. So is that the plan after school? Like, you plan on just dropping a bunch?
That's the thing. That's why I didn't want to go to college, because I was like, dude, I can write I literally, before I got here, I wrote a song start to finish in 2 hours.
Yeah. Is it just like something you're just sitting on your couch and it's in your mind, or is it like how?
Those are typically the good songs. It's just like people always ask me like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And it's always like, when I get a majority of my songs, like almost freaking like the heavens is dropped in front of me. It's like I don't really know how to tell you how this came to be, you know. It's just kind of part of the gift, and I thank God for it every day, man. It's just like, I don't know, but definitely school definitely does hold me back sometimes, and I'm always trying to like find people that can relate if they have things that require so much time. Like, what do they do about it? And it's almost like it's hard to find my place a little bit, because a lot of the people I look up to is just like, screw school, I dropped out and I did this and I was homeless, but I'm famous now. I'm like, I don't know, I care too much about both things almost. Like,
so how do you avoid like negativity at your age? Like, what are ways that you try to avoid being like negative and stuff like that?
Well, I'm gonna say this to the camera too. You can't avoid negativity. You're always gonna get it. You're always gonna get hate, and it's honestly, you're pretty lucky if you get more positivity than hate. That's just the real thing. But
dog dropping gems.
But
the older cat should be embarrassed, bro. This man's dropping more wisdom than a lot. But
the way that I block it out is honestly just like, it's kind of cliche for me to just say in general, just music, but like, I don't know. I take what they say sometimes, and I create like a thought. Like I create like I don't know, if I see a hate comment, it's almost like I start writing songs with this like negativity bias.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm gonna put that emotion from the comment into this song, and then I don't know, it turns into something. So it's like, how could I be mad about that? Because they just gave me this.
Right.
Like they almost offered me that kind of new song just because they're hating. I don't know. I use it as motivation. It fuels me, and I kind of I recycle it and I make it into something. You know?
Do you like have you ever performed or anything yet? Like I know you talked about it earlier a little bit.
Yeah. So solo performing, I've done a little bit of it. For music, a lot more in dance, but for music I've done a good bit. Last big performance I did was at Berklee College of Music over the summer, because I went there for a summer program, and I got to perform solo some original songs in front of a bunch of really well-known professors. Oh yeah, dude, because they've been at it for so long, and these guys like went up after me and played their guitars, and it was like, oh, I felt embarrassed, because it was just like, oh geez, they're just so good. But I mean, this guy came up to me and he goes, his name was Bob Stanton, I believe. He was like one of the biggest professors there, and he goes up to me and he's like, prepare to be famous. And I was like, oh my goodness. So that's made me want to perform more. I'm still trying to find, I guess, like a band, because there's a lot of music I make that requires more sound and more members,
instruments and stuff.
More instruments.
Yeah, that's cool though, man. This fact that you can even elaborate on that and tell your whole story, your upbringing, and everything that's been going on is like, bro, I'm proud of you, bro, because there's not many people this age that's like excelling the way that you are, and I feel like you're actually older, which I feel like maybe that's something. Do you feel like you're older than the way how, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did this like mental age test. It was said I was like 30 something.
Yeah.
I was like, what in the world?
Yeah.
So
I could see that, but not really, because like I don't know. I feel like you still got a lot of room there.
No, definitely, definitely.
And not like that. I don't mean to be rude. Like I'm not any better than anybody, and you could be right up, but it's more of like, you just you're smart as heck.
I can agree with you. I think it's just like I've hung out with, I don't know, I've picked up on a lot of music related things from people that.
What about dance? Where'd you get dancing from?
Well, I started that from YouTube, and then I've just been going to class. Like
trending dances or stuff, or is it like choreography dancing, like straight? You ever seen Step Up?
Yeah. I actually just did a dance themed after that.
Hey, see, and that's what. Hey, if you are 25 and older, I think I'm the last age. But like, bro, Step Up 1, Step Up 2, and Step Up 3 was like. Shout out to Moose in the second one. Like, bro, I love Step Up. So like, what's your favorite choreography dance, or do you have one, or are you just more of like, you just feel?
Well, my favorite style dance is probably hip hop.
Yeah. Do you do any like choreography, or is it more of like just freelancing?
No, I definitely. I do both. I mean, I do a lot of. They call it like improvising or freestyling. I do a lot of that just to kind of. It's my form of songwriting, but in dance. It's where I like create.
I've seen a video, dude. You kill it. Like, I love when people like be themselves, man. I don't want anybody to be like following somebody else. You know. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I really care about my style and the way I move and dance, and take one move and just turn it into my own. But I do choreograph a lot. Right now, I'm in the middle of like choreographing maybe 5 different dances, or being part of that.
Yeah, no, choreography
process. So. It's a lot of work, but I mean, I like to always be doing something, so a lot of that work to other people might be like, oh my god, how do you do it? But to me, it's just, I'm used to it, and it's like I never don't have something to do.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So that's,
do you feel like maybe that like that's not a good thing? Because, you know, sometimes we all need, you know, space and relaxation.
Yeah, that's It gets exhausting, and it's almost like, for me, doing so much can kind of, like, I don't know, being involved in so many things can kind of just, it's addicting to me. Like, I don't know, it's a bad habit sometimes. It's like a blessing and a curse, because every now and then I'll get so caught up in what I'm doing that I'll take a step back for 1 second, and I'm like, oh geez, this is all piled up on me, and I, like, in a horrible mental state now because I've just been overworked and doing this and doing that and just beating myself up just to be able to give people what they want, you know what I mean? And I'm kind of in that spot right now, but I think that this new song release and this interview and just these opportunities I've been getting lately have kind of just been, I don't know, I'm reflecting on them very positively, and I'm taking them as like, you know, one step closer to something, whatever it is.
It's a test,
you know?
man. And you're passing it because you're doing a great job talking. You're doing everything. Your storyline, everything is perfect, bro. Because like I've had people come on here and they don't know, you know what I mean, opportunities in front of them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of people can't see them.
No, because like
especially people my age too.
Yeah. So like, what is one thing you want to tell yourself in 3 years or 2 years? Right now, if you could tell, if you're watching this in 2 or 3 years,
all right.
Like, what's one advice?
I'm sure I'll be watching it like in the future, but I hope that this is to my future self. I hope that you did not skip any opportunities from this point on until whenever you're watching this right now. I hope you didn't skip a single one, because it could affect you negatively or positively, but who's to say what it's gonna do? You won't know till you try. So
and then don't ever give up, bro. Keep being yourself and never try to be like anybody else. That's what I like to do. That's why I love these interviews, because I feel like they're bigger than what we really think it is, you know? Especially when years go by and you kind of look back at it and you reflect on it. It's like that kind of hits different, you know? So you know, what's one thing that you feel like you want to improve for the next year or even next time I interview you?
I think what I want to do is improve my way of promoting myself, putting myself out there, because I was so excited about this because I feel like a lot of my followers didn't have the right idea about me. Like I felt like the image I was trying to express was not being read the way I wanted it to, and I feel like this is the most honest kind of interaction that I could even put out on the internet.
What's one thing that you feel like people would want to know?
I don't know. I think a lot of people would want to know maybe how I go about songwriting and how I get it done, which is kind of why I've wanted to make my channel too and talk about that and give people tips, because I love talking about what I do, and it's a common thing.
You should definitely get into it, man. I was about to say, like, make some content, make a podcast, do something, like get in the realm of just doing it and get comfortable and just excel in it, you know? Because it takes time, bro. It's not just gonna come. Like, this wasn't natural. Like, I had to force this, you know, and then now it's natural. You know, like, bro, like, it
becomes like normal routine.
Bro, it's
like
so
waking
normal.
up every day.
Every day, like, this is my life, and I haven't had a job in like a year and a half, so it's like I've really just done this every week, and now I'm starting to travel, so it's like maybe that's the next step for you in about a year or two, and that's kind of why I'm glad you hopped on, because I feel like you are ready, bro. Like, there's people at my age who won't even come do this, and they're trying to pursue the next level, so... Are you trying to get, like, signed or anything like that, or is that your goal, or are you just trying to make music?
I think I'm kind of trying to, so in the midst of these opportunities such as this one, I'm kind of just creating a checklist for myself, like making sticky notes and stuff, like the order of when I want to do things. I think the first thing I want to do right now is make a band, get out there and perform, instead of having my audience only online. Get that local fan base. In-person presence. The only in-person presence I have right now is people just that are friends with me. Or family. Right. So it's like, if I go out there and perform and then some random band from the area is like, oh, I really like your stuff, that will make me feel good, because I like that in-person contact. That, you know, and it means something to me when I see it through a comment, but I see them all the time. I just
it's different.
Like it and scroll.
In person.
You know what I mean? So I want that. Then I'm trying to find like management, because it's really hard as an independent artist to do everything by myself. It gets so exhausting, and I'm sure you know what it feels like to do everything by yourself. But you know, I kind of want to find somebody that I could maybe look up to or meet in person all the time, that can give me some ideas and
pointers and stuff.
Pointers and you know, and especially someone that maybe have already exceeded in what I'm trying to get at, you know, because then they'll definitely be able to backtrack and say, this is how I did it, see if this works.
They're investing in you, and that's, you'll have it, bro. You're still young. I think, you know, by the time maybe 2 years, I feel like you'll be in the full position of doing it. You just got to make sacrifices and make sure you know what you really want to do, you know what I mean? Never backtrack. If you do one thing, what you're doing one thing right now, don't do like don't stop and try to do something else. Like
Exactly.
stick with one thing until you know and peak. So where can we find you on social media?
Well, I go by Max Besta on all social platforms, like no underscores or numbers, anything like that. Just my name, MAXBESTA. Instagram, TikTok. I post a lot of cool tips on there and just snippets of songs, and I hope you like what you see. It's the same thing for every music platform as well. So
Okay, and yeah, make sure you guys check the descriptions and get his information. I got all the his Instagram, and you got YouTube, right? No, not yet.
I just post my songs in there.
That's
but that's
okay. I just want to make sure we're gonna put all the stuff down there below. But last question: how do you always be yourself when you wake up?
Oh, when I wake up every day, I felt my way of being myself when I wake up is putting on like a good outfit.
Okay.
Like I feel like because
like
like I can't go to school and like be playing a guitar all the time. So I'm like, okay, what else can I do to express myself? I don't know. I do the whole fit thing, and I also don't really care about what other people think about my fit. If they have something bad to say about it, I'm like, well, I like it, and I feel confident in it.
No, that was probably my best answer. I'm sorry if you're watching it, but no, that was my best answer for that because a lot of people go like, I don't know, or that's a good question, and that's it. And it's like, no, bro, like you got to find your rhythm and what you want to do. Like for me, it's obviously, you know, Mary Jane. Like I really love marijuana. Like I literally love it, but it's like you see what I do though. I'm not lazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, I'm not doing anything. It would be different.
You're responsible.
Yeah. Well, kind of. You know me, but but it's still like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're doing your thing.
It's just who you are. It's how you be yourself. And I think that was a good answer, bro. So, you know, I hope we covered everything. Like I said, for the first one, I always do introductions. I just want people to get to know you a lot more, just so that people, when next time you come on, it's like, we're really in depth. We're talking about the new single you got. We're talking about, like, you know, like in-depth questions that you may want to get. I'm going to make you get up and walk out. Not like that, but the questions are so deep.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's the goal for this. Like, I really want to make it rise to elevate.
Yeah.
And I'm excited,
I can't wait for people to hear more, man.
Yeah, you're going to be back in 4 or 6 months. I'm going to get him back, and we're hopefully going to be in a different state so I can fly you out there. And then, like, you know, I have bobbleheads and all that stuff for people. I can't wait because we're going to New Orleans next. I can't wait to see you, Ralph the Baker, Fendi P maybe. And then we got Ohio. Shout out to Dylan. He's a UFC fighter. Just won the Dana White Contender Series. And then after that, we're going to New York. And LA. So we're going everywhere, man. And you know, it's been beautiful, bro. Is there anything else you want to say before we go?
Be yourself always.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. Be yourself. Okay, guys. I love every single one of you guys. And remember, stay true to yourself. And the only way to achieve your dreams is through you. No one else is going to do it. You got to get up every single day and you got to grind harder than you ever did. Interview 93. Max Besta. Did I say that right? Yeah. I have like this thing with names where like I really suck. You should watch all my interviews in a row, and like every time I'm like, did I say your name right? Because I'm like, I just see so many names like every day. Like even, you know, we talked last night before you came here. I was like talking to like 6 different people, so it's like, it's hard to like remember everybody and to always be like, I don't know, man. Making content's crazy, bro. I feel like I've lost a part of my mind doing it, but you know, I'm still good, bro. I'm chilling, I'm vibing. But I love every single one of you guys. Remember, for real, be yourself. Interview 93. Peace.